Hello and welcome to your worst nightmare, another RPG actual play podcast. Solotude, a journaling RPG podcast, is just me in a room, not to brag, with a journal, a solo RPG, and some damn good coffee. I play to see what happens in the story, write in my fictional journal, and you get to hang out next to me by the fire. My name is Auri. Welcome. I hope you enjoy our time together. This is Solotude. We do what in the shadows? And we're back. We're back in the game. Or rather, we're out of the game. In a sense, because the papal combat is done. We're done with the mandatory sports segment of the vampire game. This campaign has had surprisingly little to do with vampire tropes or even like the classic formula of vampire stories or vampire stuff in general. But I don't care. But what I do want to do is a little bit of musings from the shadows. Alf Loki Skeletonson, our guy, he enjoys eating humans, but he doesn't, because he traveled north into Norway, and he thinks he got enlightened. I don't think he did. I think he still craves human flesh, but he hasn't been cooking for a while. Early in the morning when he goes to sleep, he thinks about it. And we're lucky that caretaker Garibaldi is not looking super appetizing. Not a lot of flesh on those bones. And that blood is a nut for drinking. I wonder which part is Alf's favorite to munch on. He doesn't care for the virgin thing. He likes his blood and flesh tainted. He likes flesh that has seen stuff. Blood that has been places. His favorite blood type? Dirty. His favorite internal organ to eat? The liver. Goes amazingly well with many red wines. When he's laying in bed, thinking of all that dirty flesh, what he's really missing are the desserts. What he used to do was he used to eat a person after he ate a well-proportioned adult. It's the dessert that got him. Something sweet, like a grandma, like a good-hearted neighbor, a community leader. First lick the salt off their skin, bite their tongue off, let the blood spill on the floor and drink it from there. Then claw your way to the liver, pour some wine in there, and go to town. So I think with that, let's get into it. Oh, by the way, for some reason I forgot to mention at the end of the last episode, I gained a skill and a resource. So my resource I picked was Sainthood, and the skill I feel I got in Papal Combat was Trust. So I now have a skill called Trust that I can use. So yeah, that's that. So we were at prompt number 36. We move 3 spaces forward. Prompt 39 says, "What's this? A head in a box?" And it can talk. Create an immortal character that is also a resource. This head must be used to fill your next 3 needs for a character. I have no idea what that means, rules-wise. Where did you get this thing? A head in a box. That's a classic. So I need to figure out who it is. It can talk. I'll create the immortal character, so it's an immortal head. That's delightful. Right now, we are living in 1676. I think Alf will find a reason to stay in Corsica for quite a while. He's hiding from the Pope. He's not back into the desperate emo mode of, oh no, I'll ruin the world if I do anything, which is why he left for Norway back in the day. But he's going to recuperate for a while. He's regaining his his strength. I think he's gonna be like a vampire hunter. I think that's his way into René Descartes' heart. Descartes' heart. Descartes comes back from Athens. He got some instructions from the symposioum. And Alf wants to do his part. He wants to slow down the evil of Pope Glutius Maximus. He's doing whatever he's able to from the island of Corsica. Maybe the tower becomes like a base for some vampire hunters, like a remote base. He doesn't become necessarily trusted among the vampire hunters or the philosophers. He's with René Descartes. I don't think the philosophers know the extent of their relationship, but it is going on. So years go by, and some minor philosophers have come and gone through the fort. Our guy has been dealing with minor supernatural threats in Corsica. He's not much of a fighter, but he's doing it like Buffy the Vampire Slayer style. He's just doing a lot of research, and then with sheer dumb luck and good TV writing, he's able to stop the resurgence of evil in Corsica. So one day, 30 years later, in 1706, René Descartes shows up. He hasn't been here for a while. He's gotten older. He ages at like half speed because he doesn't exist half the time. But he's not an immortal, he still ages. One beautiful summer day, Alf is sitting at the rooftop of his watchtower. There's beautiful fabrics, silk curtains to keep the sea wind at bay. There's Egyptian carpets, and René Descartes stands before him. It's been a few months since Descartes was here, but he's holding a box in his hands. But he's wounded. He's bleeding. He's really hurt. I immediately jump up. I go to tend to his wounds, but he says that he has to go. The Philosopher's Symposium was attacked by supernatural warriors wearing the sigil, an emblem with the sign of great evil. 2 well-muscled ass cheeks. Not just any ass cheeks. Descartes recognized the ass with dimples like that. It had to be the Pope. Glutius Maximus had begun his purge. He'd found out where the Philosopher's Symposium meets and sent out his most elite death squad called... what the fuck are they called? The Skull Crushers. That's a lift, right? For the triceps? Yeah, the Skull Crushers. That's them. He sent the Skull Crushers brandishing the emblem of the ass, a fist-sized brass medallion that has a lifelike engraving of the Pope's ass on it. So the Skull Crushers hit the symposium hard. Descartes got out. He has no idea what happened to the others. His hands shake as he's holding the box. "Take him," he says. "This is our leader. Take good care of him." And he hands me the box and disappears. There I am standing with a wooden box in my hands. I think to myself, what's in the box? I set it down on the floor and I open it. I see a bald, shiny top of the head, a great white beard, and blonde grey curly hair. God, he's ugly. He greets me with a question. "Do you think vampires should exist?" I say, "Well, no." "Ah, then you think you shouldn't exist?" I say, "No." He seems perplexed. How is that possible? That's illogical. And by now, Alf figures out who it is. He lifts the head out of the box. It's the leader of the symposium, the grand philosopher, the talking head. It's Socrates. "Well," I say, "I'm a vampire, but you should have died 2,000 years ago." There's an awkward silence. He whispers, "Touché." So Socrates is the leader of the symposium, and he's just a head. He's not brains in a vat. He's just a head in a box. And he does not care for me. He starts fucking questioning me every way he can. At first, he questions my life choices. He questions my taste in romantic partners. He questions my furniture taste. He questions the songs I make. He criticizes my fashion sense. He criticizes the way I criticize. He's sharp as a tack still, but he's a fucking menace. Imagine the most obnoxious guy you've ever met. Then cut his head off, put it in a box. You've got Socrates. So the prompt says I need to fill the next 3 needs using this head. I'm not sure what that means. So probably I'll just find a way to bring the head into the next 3 prompts in some way and call it a day. Great. Okay, so Descartes is out for now. The symposium of the philosophers has been cut off by the skull crushers of the well-shaped ass. I'm now in possession of the symposium's leader, which appears to be the decapitated Socrates. Somehow alive immortally? We'll figure this out in the journal. I don't know. So I like this. I like Socrates. Great. On to the next one. So that's 1 space back. A supernatural enemy moves against you. 1 close mortal character is converted into an immortal, quasi-sentient hunting thing set to tracking you. Strike out any other living mortals on your list. Jesus, this is getting tough. So 1 close mortal character. I don't think I have many close mortal characters. Fuck. It's gonna have to be either Caretaker Garibaldi or René Descartes. Which one is it? So probably the Pope would have changed either one of them. Or it could be a different one. I want to get some distance towards, we've been hanging around with the same antagonist. I think Papal Combat was the high point, at least for now in this act or the previous act. And I kind of want to give Father Weishnigger a break. Let him be Pope for a while, make the world worse. So maybe, since he's been helping supernatural monsters live their best lives and get out of their shells, maybe there's somebody let's make it someone else. Let's use a supernatural enemy who we haven't met. So let's create a new one. So is it Descartes or Garibaldi? Both work very well. So if it's Caretaker Garibaldi, what happens? His whole life is about taking care of me and making sure I'm doing good. But there's the tension of the original Garibaldi kind of sneaking into his mind. Maybe the original Garibaldi becomes a bigger presence in Caretaker Garibaldi's mind. There's like a silent takeover. Yeah, okay. One beautiful day, I'm hanging out with my man Socrates, and Caretaker Garibaldi is annoying me. He's pushing my buttons. So I say something like, "It's good I never turned your ancestor. I'm never gonna turn you into a vampire, since then I would lose my number 1 servant." The original Garibaldi Sr., living now in Caretaker Garibaldi's mind, hears this. Next day, when I'm asleep, Caretaker Garibaldi sneaks out into the lair of my worst enemy in Corsica. Somebody I've been trying to track. They turned Caretaker Garibaldi into a quasi-sentient hunting thing set to tracking me, and he kills all mortal characters in his pursuit. I feel this takes a while. This has to take a while. We need to do a time jump here to make it make sense that he kills everyone. He kills the Secret Cabal cult, what's left of it. Mercedes Uber Eats. He kills René Descartes. Descartes will be gone. Oh no. And he kills Veronica, the fucking smuggler. I'll figure that out in the journal as well. Like, what was Veronica's deal? But Veronica was... Oh, man. I have to flee Corsica. I would have wanted to be here for a while, but I would have wanted to be in the same place for a while, but now this immortal quasi-sentient hunting thing is tracking me and I have to flee. Let's do a long one. Let's do like 70 years for this. So 100 years in total for today's episode. So we end up in 1777. I want to do that because I don't have that many mortal characters. I want to do a longer time jump so I can bring out some mortal characters to die. So I can kind of get a feel for one more human lifetime for our guy. So through 70 years, I move, this thing hunts me. I move all throughout Europe, and this thing haunts me. Caretaker Garibaldi has become Life-Taker Garibaldi. What did he become? He chases me and he kills everybody who stands in his way. So who changed him, and what is he like? He's quasi-sentient, so he's like a mindless killing machine, hell-bent on revenge. Cool ideas would be like a devil-type situation, so there's like a demon in Corsica. So the original Garibaldi, who's now kind of in control of Caretaker Garibaldi's mind or body, he finds another way to become immortal. The other would be some kind of a Frankenstein situation. An alchemical injection or mechanical replace. I like a Robocop. We're in the 1700s, so there's a mad scientist, evil genius who lives in Corsica. She replaces Garibaldi with parts that are evil. A saw for an arm. Like a 1700s shitty Robocop of evil. That's what he becomes. She buys Garibaldi's soul from him and gives him what he desires. And what he desires is a bitchin' cyborg body. A saw for a hand, spring legs, he can jump, flamethrower leg, jetpack. 18th century evil Robocop. That's what he is. And he will not rest until he has revenge for the entire clan Garibaldi, which I betrayed. So the way I get out of this, the prompt doesn't say I have to use resources or anything, but I feel like I'm going to use Socrates' head. So I'm going to have a Socratic dialogue with Socrates himself about what to do now, and it's clear. We will go as far as we can, which is we jump on a ship again. Popes can't get on a ship. It's been proved. Gludius Maximus never followed me, so it's true. We travel to the New World. We travel far west over the Atlantic. We end up in the United States of America, which has been an independent country for... Is it? Yeah, for 1 year, since 1776. So 1 year, and there's still a war going on against the British. That's where the Socratic dialogue ends up saying that's the smart place to go. The jetpack won't fly Garibaldi that far. The Pope can't get on a boat. It even rhymes, so it's true. In our Socratic dialogue with Socrates, I mentioned that I've heard... 1/2 of my family lives beyond the Atlantic, in the West. The flesh side of my family lives in the newly independent United States of America. My flesh pile ancestors live there. All in all, that's the place to flee. Not just flee, but that's the place to build a new life in. And Socrates asks me to also help him build a new symposioum. And I agree. Only a strong alliance of philosophers can stop 18th century evil Robocop. It's the only way. There we have it. So, memories. What the fuck do we do? First memory is getting a box full of Socrates. There's no memory that would fit it. So I have to create a new memory for this experience. I'm going to get rid of murdering loved ones. There's murdering Father Augusto, enslaving the clan Garibaldi, and death of Angelique de Boulangerie. That goes into the diary, and the diary will lose the temptations of the muscled hare. So I will strike out from my diary any entries about becoming a child of the night. And the new memory I will create is called Symposium of Philosophers. Receiving Socrates in a box from René Descartes. Rest in peace. I feel bad for him. Nah, I don't. Okay, that's that. Then the second memory is fleeing 18th century evil Robocop Garibaldi into America. That's the experience. Is there a memory that has that? No. Fuck. I have to get rid of something. Oh my god, this feels terrible. I'm getting rid of my memory of my dead wife. Being a family man. That's in my diary. Shit, that feels worse than I thought. So that's in the diary, and the new memory is instead running from my responsibilities. I'm gonna get rid of murdering loved ones from the diary as well. So what my guy now remembers is in Norway, all of that stuff. I remember fucking René Descartes. I remember all the Return of Holy Ball, Casket Ball, Papal Combat stuff. I think my guy has no reason to stay vegetarian anymore. He's forgotten about his guilt. Shit. All this running, all this death. He's even forgotten who the fuck Garibaldi is. I have no memory left of him. Not even in my diary. There's just this robotic, eternal creature who hunts me tirelessly all around the continent for decades. We have big fights. I think I kill him a few times, but he doesn't die. He's always back. Like the Rolling Stones or Deep Purple. You think they're dead, and then they go on tour. Yeah, this is excellent. I would have loved to stay in Corsica for a while, but this seemed like a good idea for a 100-year time jump. And I don't know, the USA is a nice place to be at the turn of the century, the 18th, 19th century. So a lot of stuff happening there. And we'll see what kind of a part we play in it with Socrates, Robocop chasing us. Thanks for listening. See ya. Thanks for listening, folks. My name is Auri Itämäki, and Solotude is my personal project. I hope you enjoyed this episode. You can follow Solotude on Instagram at Solotude Show, and if you got something to say, drop a message or comment. Also, please rate and review the show so people can find it a little bit easier. It would be awesome if more people found the show. Additional episode music and sound effects courtesy of Epidemicsound, theme song by me. Solotude drops every week. Every other week, there's an actual play episode, and on the off weeks, I'll do a proper journal reading with music and the whole shebang. Thanks again for listening, everybody. See you next week. Bye.